Today we're taking the stereo out of a 2008 Hyundai Santa Fe. The problem we're running into is a grinding on the CD changer. This is something we see quite often and take care of here in the shop. To remove this stereo, we're going to start over here on the driver's side and remove this one screw down at the bottom of the panel here. The reason for removing this, it allows for a little bit of extra room when it comes to removing the next panel. We're going to grasp the bottom of the panel and pull it forward from the dash and allow that little clearance right here. Like I say, that'll make removing the next panel much easier. Next we're going to move over to the right side of the dash and we're going to pry the wood grain panel from the dash. This one has some very difficult clips to it, but all the clips do release with pry pressure and a little bit of pulling at the same time. We're going to work ourselves all the way across. We're going to get to this point here. Continue to pry and pull on the panel at the same time. We've got this panel back. The reason for loosening the panel before is there's a little tiny edge on the front on this panel right here that goes behind this panel, and just pulling this one slightly forward allows it to be removed easier. We are going to set the parking brake, turn the ignition on and shift to a lower gear. This will allow us to remove this panel back from the dash, and we will set this to the side. I'm going to shift back to park and turn the ignition off so we don't have to listen to the dinging during the process. Now, before moving forward and removing this panel around the car stereo to get access for removing the stereo, it is very important at this point that you put the gear shift back into park and turn the ignition off. The reason for this is you have your passenger airbag. If you have the ignition on after disconnecting this connector to this light, this will cause a problem that you have to go to the dealership and have them clear the code in the vehicle to have it the light to go off. So we're going to move forward now and remove this panel. Below the right air conditioner vent there is one screw we're going to remove. Below the left air conditioner vent we're going to remove one screw. Next we're going to go up to the top of the dash, and on this speaker panel above the car stereo we're going to pry this panel up, and there are 5 clips on it that need to be released. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The holes are all in around the speaker here. This was a very difficult panel to release. Now that we've released the panel, we're going to remove one screw that's been exposed on the top right. We're going to remove the second screw, top left here. And then we're going to move back and bring the pry bar back out. This will allow us to pry under the edge of the right AC vent, under the left side of the AC vent. And, this will also allow us to lift the speaker up out of the way, and this will allow us to bring the whole panel around the car stereo forward. I'm going to start at the top, and there is a connector and clip on the clock. You squeeze the clip down into the connector and it releases, and this will allow us to pull the panel forward. We're going to squeeze the trigger in on the first connector and release that one. The trigger in on the second connector and wiggle that one loose. Move to the third one so we can turn this panel over to get a little bit better access to the connector. And this is we will remove this panel and set it to the side. The connectors all have a little trigger on them when they're installed, and the trigger on these connectors, you push down into the connector and it releases the connector. with our 8mm socket, we're going to remove the bottom right mounting screw. We're going to remove the top right mounting screw. The top left mounting screw. And the bottom left mounting screw. Now we're going to pull the car stereo from the dash. This will give access to the connectors on the back of the stereo. We're going to start with the antenna and grasp that and pull that out of the... We're going to push on these connectors. There are little triggers on them, blue triggers, and you have to lift the blue triggers in order to push the trigger down on the connector and release it. Same for the last connector here. And this is how you remove the stereo from a 2008 Hyundai Santa Fe. Hope this video has been helpful. Thank you.